back to the Cal Sports Report. I'm Kate Scott. Now, in honor of Big Game Week, I thought it'd be fun to delve into one specific aspect of the Cal rivalry. Which school has the better mascot? Now, Cal wins this one hands down, year in and year out, right? Oski, the Stanford Tree, no competition. So, in honor of Oski's continued dominance over the Stanford Twig, let's get to know a little bit more about our sturdy Golden Bear. Since debuting on September 26, 1941, Oski has become one of the most recognizable mascots in college sports. And while the friendly bear has changed his appearance a few times over the years, one thing hasn't changed. Oski remains one of, if not the only secret mascot left in the NCAA. So in order to learn more about the Big O during Big Game Week, we have to delve into his past. Meet Mo Budak, Jim Ellis, Jim Klein, and Howard Korn, better known as Oski from 1966 to 1970. Klein and Korn were the first accepted by the Oski committee. Ellis and Budak were recruited soon after.
I was a freshman, and I was at Pleasure Fraternity, and there were two guys in the fraternity who were actives, and they came up to me and they said, you know, Mo, take a look at Daily Cal. There's going to be some interviews for Oski committee. You look like you do a good job in it. So I did, and I showed up at this secret meeting, because that's what it was all about. Opened the door, and of course, the two of them are in there with all the other committee members, which gave me some relief. But I conducted the worst interview you could conduct, and they had to help me out. They had to convince the rest of the committee that this guy really is worthy. They got a lousy interview, so go with him. And it turned out to actually be great. And I became a pretty good Oski. I became chair of the committee in 1969, and so it's been great ever since then.
After joining the committee, at least in the 60s, the training was simple: learn the walk, the wave, and how to hug kids and women without, well, encouraging a lawsuit. Because if Oski always looks the same, no one can distinguish between the performers.
One of my favorite stories was I had my folks come to a game and had them guess. And so I said, okay, try and guess if I'm pregame or halftime. And so my father said, oh, you had to be pregame because I got halftime. It was way too energetic and you're lazy. And he was wrong. He couldn't tell, which one it was. So it's fun.
Oski's training was put to the ultimate test in September 1966.
My very first game that I ever played, in the day we had one performer pregame, one performer halftime, and my two fraternity brothers, Jimmy and Howard, told me that I was going to be doing pregame. And I said, good, what do I have to do? He said, well, you have to get up on the goalposts. And the day we had these H-type goalposts, and Oski would stand up there and wave and, all that. And he said, well, how does he get up there? And he said, well, we lay a ladder down and Oski climbs up. I said, okay, and then before the game starts, you bring the ladder over and I climb down. He goes, no. Oski, once they see him up there, that's not Oski's character to climb down. What you have to do is you have to lower yourself, sit down on the crossbar, then hang from the crossbar, and then drop.
One of Oski's guards on that fateful day, Jim Klein.
And so we had trained Budak how to jump down from the goalpost, and he did it exactly wrong, and I guess hurt his ankle. So he's lying there, and one of the rules was that Oski can't speak.
Oski's other guard that day, Howard Korn.
So, of course, then you had all the rescue people, everybody concerned about him, and Jim wants him only to talk to him and in whispers so that nobody can really see Oski talking.
So he's lying there, and I'm guarding him. I'm going, get up. He can't. He's shaking his head. He can't get up. So I went over there and I said, come on, are you okay? Can you get up?
Soon enough, it was game time.
So I'm shaking my head. No. What happened? Point to my ankle. So they delay the beginning of the game. The team doctor comes over. He says, son, you doing okay? Well, we got to take the head off. So they carted me on, one of the cots, took me out to the waiting ambulance across the street to the hospital, and I got ministered to.
So Budak forgot a few things, but he did remember the most important parts of playing O. Head on, voice off, the bear comes first. Now 40 years removed from it all, I was interested to hear what it was like for the alums to see Oski today.
They probably don't even talk about it now, but part of the walk and the talk and all this stuff. But there was also a persona of Oski at the time. You know, he had a certain personality, and one of his personality traits that was passed on to us, that was supposed to portray, is that he was horny. You know, so kind of grabbing here and there was kind of part of the deal.
Unfortunately, that trait's disappeared over time, giving way to the family-friendly bear we know today. Despite the differences between 1969 and 2009, though, the quartet agrees Oski remains a step ahead of his fellow collegiate mascots. Now, Cal fans, if that little Oski feature whet your appetite and you want to know a little bit more about the bear, well, don't worry. Oski has his own website, www.oski.com. So if you're looking to kill a few hours at work or just want to know a little bit more, oh, there's plenty more at Oski.com. Coming up, Todd sits down with Coach Tedford, breaks down the Arizona game, and looks ahead to the 112th big game right here on the Cal Sports Report.